Guys, made my next video. I'm trying to be a little more consistent since we started prep, and about 19 weeks away from the show now. So my show is on a Saturday. It's Wednesday, pretty close to 19 weeks. So like I said, we just started prep, so nothing has changed. Today is my second week that I'm checking in prep, so I'm assuming that he's going to change a few things. Nothing has changed. I just made sure I didn't do any cheats this week. My weight stayed stable at 143 and change until I started feeling sick. As you know, your body starts fighting something. I had a stuffy nose, some congestion. And even though I was really concentrating and having a lot of sleep this week, more than the normal 5, 6, 7 hours, I was doing 8, 9, 10 hours. There was 1 or 2 nights where even though I got as a whole, if you look at it, like 8 hours of sleep, it was like very interrupted because I couldn't breathe and stuff like that. So my weight went up slightly. Now it's dropping down again as I'm getting better. So I am sitting about on average, because he wants me to take my weight every day, which is something some people can't do because they fixate on it. I already know my fluctuations. I know weight is higher in the morning. At night. Weight is higher when you don't sleep. Weight is higher when you're stressed. So to get that average and see where you're at is easy for me, but it may be not easy for others because they fixate onto it way too much. The scale doesn't bother me. So like I said, I'm probably sitting about 143 and change. Today I'm sitting at like 144, but yeah, as you can probably hear, I'm still a little stuffy. I'm still tired, things like that. And that's about it. My meals, I eat about 5 times a day. Morning is, same old shit, eggs, Ezekiel toast. I have my supplements. In the afternoon, like a snack, I have a protein shake. I have banana. For lunch, which is my 3rd meal, and my last meal of the day, I have just a lean protein, about 4 ounces, and carbs. I'm supposed to have vegetables. I don't have as much vegetables as I believe my coach or anyone else would like me to have because they are hard on my stomach, and I'm just not into vegetables. I'm considering getting one of those powdered. My husband drinks powdered vegetables. He eats no vegetables. So he does, like, I think it's a daily vegetable protein, and it's green, and he just like dry scoops that shit. And no, he actually puts a little water in it. And I know it probably tastes disgusting, but that takes care of all his vitamin needs. So I'm probably going to look into that. I'm kind of iffy about eating that. If I don't want to eat vegetables, what makes you think I want to choke down some powder? We'll see. Maybe I'll try one of his just for shits and giggles. Cardio is only at 3 times a week for 25 minutes. When I first started, it was only twice a week when I was bulking. I think that's just to keep your heart rate going, to keep everything good. Now it's at 3. I did pose a question to him. Previous coaches I had during prep would get me into like crazy amounts of cardio. Like, I think it got close to 2 hours a day towards the end of my prep, and it was terrible. Like, just to fit it in was terrible. I would have to break it apart, an hour here, an hour there. If I was rushing, it was super late at night or super early in the morning. If I'm exhausted, you're hardly eating. So I posed that question: how does he view cardio, and is it a necessary evil? I'll get back to you on what he says. It may be just because my body doesn't react. I know how my body reacts. I'm just go by what the coach does, but I know how my body reacts with carbs, with fats. Like, if you take away carbs and fats, I'm going to hold it. If you take away carbs but leaves high fats, my body starts being very efficient and losing weight really quickly. Cardio, I feel, doesn't do shit for me. There's been days where I said, fuck this, I'm not doing my cardio, and my weight doesn't change. It doesn't really do anything for me. So that's why I pose that question. I want to see what he says. I'm feeling good. despite the cold. I'm feeling good. I'm trying really hard to get in my gallon of water a day, which has been pretty easy lately because it's been like 104 in North Carolina, just to let you know. And working outside in the heat, and if you don't know already, I work in an auction house as a general manager. We're always short staffed, so I lift a lot of furniture with my staff. I have to lift it to do photography, so it's not unreasonable for me in a day to be lifting all day, walking all day, get my steps in. I'm supposed to do 8,000 steps. I usually always exceed that unless I'm home doing nothing. So the steps either. I'm supposed to be tracking steps with this new coach. No big deal. By the way, he is my 4th coach in 10 years. I know that may sound like a lot. Some people may do more. Some people stick to one. I did have one when I first started for years. The reason why I stopped with him is because I had a huge stall, and that's when I found out I was having problems and I needed to go to HRT and things like that. And then I went to this other coach who was more into fixing some of these problems through supplements, and he put me on a Mediterranean diet. I started feeling better, but he was super expensive, and like I could not keep up with the cost in that. You know, I did it for a while, and it was just ridiculous what I was paying for, and I just, you know, took what he told me, ran with it, and then I had to let him go. Then I found this other coach. He was great. And during this time, I was trying to get back with my first coach. But I found this other coach. He had coached someone I saw online for years that I loved. Great guy. And I just, everything was working great. We went to nationals, but for some reason, I just didn't like the way my physique looked. Even though I placed well, I didn't like the way my physique looked compared to the first coach. That was one thing. Too, during that time, you know, I went through a lot of emotional things during a prep. While I was prepping with him, I found out about my husband's affair. My father had passed away. My mom needed knee surgery. I was going through a divorce. I was moving. I had a new relationship, and in the middle of that prep, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, it felt like every month there was a situation that I could not control. I can control me, but I could not control these situations. And mentally, I was not in the game. And that's when I stopped. And that was 3 years ago. I never went back to him, though he was great. He did want me to take some supplements I didn't want to take. And it was just going back and forth. And I just felt like I didn't need that stuff. So I tried in the meantime to go back to my first coach. He responded like twice, and it seemed like we were getting back together, but then he never responded again. So I kind of was just like, I guess this is not going to happen. So in my new area where I live in North Carolina, when I moved in with my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, I had seen a couple of competitors at my gym, older women. They looked like they were late 50s and their 60s. And one said IFBB Pro on her belt. So I went up to her and I said, can I ask you who your coach is? She told me she had been with this coach for 10 years and she loved him. So I sought him out online, and the rest is history, and now that's who I have. And he's been great so far. He answers all my questions really quickly. He does little voice app check back in. So instead of just typing to me, he's actually talking to me. He's answering my questions. He's been very knowledgeable, so he understands like my blood work and things like that, and the autoimmune diseases that I have. He pretty much understands also. And if he says I don't like something, he will adjust and take it out. So everything seems good. I'm curious to see how the remainder of the prep is going to go with him, and how the last like week of prep goes with him. And I'll let you know all that as I continue these videos. And hopefully I'll start getting skinnier after he makes adjustments. Not skinnier, leaner, folks. Thank you. Bye.